The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But what exactly does that mean?
Well, the Second Amendment means what the Supreme Court will tell us it means. And until 2010, somewhat surprisingly, they hadn't said a word about it. In 2010, in a case called D.C. versus Heller, they had to evaluate a Washington, D.C. law that said if you're going to own a gun in your home, it has to be either disassembled or it needs to be trigger locked. And so in this case, for the first time, the Supreme Court's going to have to explain what the Second Amendment means and how far it goes. State or federal, the right is you have the right to a gun in the privacy of your own home for the purpose of self-defense.
The Supreme Court decision also gave government regulatory power over firearms.
Once you decide to take your gun outside of your house, the full regulatory authority of government can come down on you. If the government wants to ban the possession of firearms in public, they can.
As the conversation about gun control grows, Dr. Lichtman urges the public not to feed into misleading political information.
My enthusiasm about public awareness gets tempered. I think there's been a lot of misdirection, and I think a lot of people have been misled by political actors who have their own agenda and misled into thinking that the Second Amendment means something that in fact it does not mean. And it's very difficult for everyday people to sift through what is reliable and what is downright fiction.
Dr. Lichtman has one piece of advice to avoid misleading information.
Read. And stop listening to the NRA and stop listening to, for that matter, gun control advocates who are equally misleading about the meaning of the Second Amendment.
It looks like the conversation about gun rights is far from over. For SUTV, I'm Joe Rodriguez.